got Yola. Hi, Yola. Yola's being real sweet. Just hanging out with us. I mean, she's got incentive to hang out with us, of course. Hope everyone's having a happy day so far. Hi. Hi. We've got Betty Jane over here. Hi, Betty.
She eats with a lot of enthusiasm.
Well, she's very quick about it.
Yes.
She grabs the pellets and then she moves on. We got Anna over on Facebook. Thanks for joining us, Anna. We got anybody joining in on TikTok?
We do. We have a number of people joining in.
Thanks for joining us this Friday. It is a beautiful morning. It is like 60 degrees, no clouds. There might be a little clouds today, but the rain chances are holding off until later in the week. It looks like we've got rain chances Sunday. So if you were planning on coming out to Foster Rim this weekend, check out Saturday because it looks like Saturday is going to be real pretty. 80 degrees for the high, 60 for the low. Perfect weather to come hang out with a giraffe like Betty Jane and Yola. And Yola's licking the roof. So for those that have been following along with our naming contest for our newest little guy that was born in December, we have announced the finalists. So if you're wanting to contribute to that, make sure you go on to fosterhome.org/name our giraffe and vote. It is free. You can go and just submit a name.
Vote for a name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Muscle memory. Yeah, go and vote for a name. Submitting the name already happened. Isn't that right, Yola? Back behind us, we also have some roan antelope that are hanging out. They're waiting on some treats from the animal care staff. So you see the adults are hanging out here. We got some kiddos off to the right there. A pretty young little kiddo right there. A little guy right there at the back. My zooming isn't working great on this phone. Yours is there. Yeah, hear the bird song. Cool morning. Betty Jane licking our roof. Yola as well. So I've been told that they like the dust, the pollen, the mineral that builds up on these structures. They'll lick the fence posts. They'll lick the barns, the vans. Betty Jane's gonna walk right into the open area here. All right. Hey, Betty. So it gives you a really good opportunity to see their legs and their hooves. And see just how strange those legs move and how amazing it is that these guys can run at all, much less 30 to 40 miles an hour, which is an impressive sight.
I had somebody ask, are giraffes as loving as elephants?
I feel like loving it, we're putting a human anthropomorphizing, right? So loving, they will dote on other giraffes, like kids or whatever. They'll kind of nuzzle with other giraffe. With people, they know us for the pellets. So they are, I guess, habituated. I don't know for lack of a better term. To know where the pellets come from. So if we were outside of the vehicle, that we would be a threat. So, because they only know us for the car. So I feel like loving may be the wrong term. I don't know how to describe that any better. Do you have any input?
Yeah, no, I think you spoke to it the same way I would have, right? Where it's not necessarily an applicable
Term for
term
these
we
guys.
can use, but you know, they're very gentle when they eat from our hands.
Yes,
and I think
that is a fact.
Because of all the work that our animal care and animal health teams do to make sure that they have quality of life here on property.
Oh yeah.
That with them being wild animals, we give them plenty of space. We can't pet them; they don't want to be pet.
So that's where that kind of that loving term, it's called into question because they really don't want anything to do with you other than to eat pellets. So it's like you can tell she's looking for pellets. Otherwise, not interested. Former board member Tilly said she got on here and voted. So Judy said she voted. Thanks, guys. We appreciate that. We got our security officer. His dad is on. So shout out to Mike's parents for being on the live. Waking up early to be on the live, by the way, over there in California. So shout out to you guys. And we got Frizzy here for those that are curious. So I recognize Frizzy by a specific spot on her right side. So that is a question we get a lot. Is how do you tell the giraffes apart? And over here on Frizzy's side, no.
Let me see. I was gonna say I can maybe.
There we go. For whatever reason, that spot right there, it has those two little indentions in it. It has the two little like shapes on either side. I don't know what it is, but it's very unique to Frizzy. That's one way to tell. The other is she's the kind of the in between female as far as size wise in the herd. So she's the kind of oldest of the kids and youngest of the adults. Oh, Tilly said my grandchildren went to see Big Mac at the MD Zoo.
Oh, when I say hi for us.
So when I go, I'll get pictures and send back to you. Yes, Tilly, tell Big Mac we send our love. Judy says that the spots looks like puzzle piece. So that one spot looks like a puzzle piece on Frizzy. Yeah, I could see that.
Just tried to.
She's just trying to get the old cup. She's getting wise to the whole gig here.
Let's see if I can get her head outside of the van.
So that is one practice that we try to do here is especially with vans, we try to keep it where we're reaching out to give pellets, and that just kind of gives them the sense that you eat from out this way instead of having them stick their head through the van.
I had somebody ask, do they like being pet? And the answer is no. They are, still considered wild animals. They just want us for our pellets. And if we do try and pet them, they pull away. So we want to make sure that we respect that and don't cause our giraffes any unnecessary stress.
Yeah. So and wild, when we say wild in the way that they have space to roam as a herd, use herd instincts. Now, do they get fed pellets? Yeah, but they roam as a herd. They know that people are a food source, and that's pretty much it. So we try to leave them to their natural instincts as much as possible. Yeah, Betty very much appreciates it. We got Emma Jo Henderson this morning. I haven't seen Ashlyn so far. We haven't seen the animal care specialist so far. Judy says, I miss Big Mac and all those girls, Goldie, Maple, and Waffles.
Aww.
Yeah. We appreciate you keeping track of all the giraffes that have come through. Waffles is down in San Antonio, so you can, if you can make it to San Antonio Zoo, go check out Waffles there, or go to their social media. They do a great job with social media, and they post Waffles pretty regularly.
Some more pellets. No, ma'am. Not going to the bucket. Lizzie was just nudging my arm. Do have the rest of the giraffe herd walking around.
Yeah. We've got the kiddo over there. Or is that Yola? Oh, the kiddo is back behind Yola. There they are. So he's over there working on a slow feeder. So those little dog toys that hang from the fence are meant to slow the giraffes eating down. So they have to work the pellets out of the small opening in that little dog toy. And what that does is keeping them from eating too many pellets too quickly. Dave said, okay, I heard that. HERD. I see what you did there, Dave.
He's being very insistent.
She just wants a little pellet, is all. And we got Nettie showing up. Hey, Nettie. Hey, Nettie. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for joining us. We do have some roan that have worked their way up to the van. Hi. So one of the roan females is back here. Oh. She said nope. I didn't get pellets quick enough. Come back. And there's Yola again.
You're getting as fat as Mananasi.
Oh, no. Don't listen to her, Frizzy. You could never be that. Hi.
Did you see this?
Yeah. She's just very excited about the pellets this morning. Hi, Yola.
No more.
See, all gone.
No more. I'm sorry. Beautiful creatures. Yes, absolutely. So for those who are wondering, we have reticulated giraffes here at Fossil Rim. We are a nonprofit wildlife conservation center here in Glen Rose, Texas. So it's very close to what we call hill country here. So we've got just over 1,800 acres where our 50 some species can roam and live, very fulfilling lives, we hope.
But also mimicking the wild, right? We're a semi-free ranging facility, so the herds can run around, kind of like I was talking about with the giraffe a minute ago. They can act as a herd. They can move around the pasture and retain those instincts that maybe they had in the wild. So in case some of them need to go back, we can send them back, like we've done in the past, and like we do with Atwater's prairie chicken. Uh, it's something we try to keep those instincts intact, so that we're creating that insurance population.
I have nowhere to go, Chrissy. You have successfully boxed me into the truck.
Eddie? Dave said, have you ever had phones snatched from the van? No, not to my knowledge. I don't think they're all that interested in the phone. However, we have had people drop phones from the van. And in that case, you kind of just have to wait for the animal care staff to go get it, because You know, the person that dropped it can't get out to get it, and the tour guide can't either. So, yeah, it's kind of a tough situation. We get calls about hats and phones and all kinds of stuff. So, if you're coming out to Fossil Rim on a guided tour, make sure you're keeping a good grasp of that phone.
Someone asked, "Can you pet their forehead?" And answer is no. We do not want to pet.
Yeah. So if you go to pet, they really aren't interested in you so much as finding the food. So see how she's sniffing on me? She's looking for the pellets.
Looking for pellets too. It's not so much dangerous. We just don't want to enforce any sort of that type of behavior. We want to make sure that we allow them to, continue to act as wild animals, certainly not pets. But of course, there is always the risk of transmissible diseases.
What do we have back here? We got Nettie visiting us again.
Poor little Yola trying to get past Frizzy. Goodness, Frizzy, we are sweet baby Yola.
Yeah, Yola can do no wrong, but Frizzy.
Yola can never.
Oh, I see.
She's perfect.
Yeah, we got someone on YouTube commenting saying so cute. Yeah, we do have several cute little giraffes, and then I guess they stay pretty cute as they get older. But we've got some little bitty giraffes, Yola and the newest kid who was born in December. Hey, Frizz. Dave asks, "Are the giraffes put in the barn every night?" And no, they are not. So right here is our giraffe barn, and there is a gate on the front that has a yard attached to it. They are only in there if it's cold or if it's going to be real inclement weather. So we were just having the discussion on the way over here. Would the giraffes go up with thunderstorms moving in potentially on Sunday? And I don't know the answer to that question. So I think it depends on the severity of the storm. And the hard part about that is you really don't know how severe a storm is going to be here in North Texas until it's right at your doorstep. Uh, so that is the hard part. With our animal care staff is they have to make that call ahead of time. So if you're ever here and you're wondering, well, the weather's beautiful, why are the giraffe up? Sometimes you have to kind of preempt it, and sometimes the weatherman does. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, if you are planning to come out to Fossil Rim, go to fossilrim.org/tickets, and it's going to be beautiful today and Saturday. Next week there's a little call for rain, so make sure you're checking in before you visit.
Oh, the roan antelope are on the move.
The roan are doing a little migration over to their barn. It looks like they're headed over there, preparing for our animal care staff to come and feed them.
I have a great question. Do they giraffes get hoof trims?
Yeah, so they do sometimes is the answer. Not all of them either. Uh, so it's like Frizzy's mom here. So Frizzy, her mom is Nyla. Nyla is one of those giraffes that need hoof trims. She's had several in the time that I've been here. In the 8 years that I've been here, she's probably had, I don't know, 5 or 6 hoof trims, and her hooves grow abnormally for some reason. But the other giraffes, I don't know that I can say of another giraffe that has to have one regularly. I think if they have a giraffe down anyway, they'll look at the hooves, but it's pretty rare that they have to sedate a giraffe. So Nyla, they usually sedate her for the hoof trim, and that's about the only reason.
Yeah, the only animals I'm aware of that we actively outsource hoof trimming is the goats and sheep up at AD.
And the goats, they'll sometimes do the hoof trimming themselves on them. But yeah, we'll have a farrier come in occasionally for like the giraffe or some of the other species that are the megafauna. I know that our sable get hoof trims fairly regularly, and Molly in animal care ends up doing a lot of those hoof trims.
Someone asked, how old are they?
Oh,
They range.
yeah. I think I can rattle off ish. So Nettie and Snorgy are 15. Shiner, I think, is 17. Mononasi, I think, is he 9? Okay. Frizzy is 3. Yola is 1 as of next Monday. Who am I missing? Jehudi, I think, is 4. Um, Betty Jane is 6. And I think that's everyone. Who did I miss? Jan. I don't remember how old Jan is. Yeah. So there you go. Dave said, seems like storms there have a lot of lightning. And yeah, so that is something where I'd be curious to know where the giraffes go when it storms like that. If it, because sometimes they'll stay out for some storms that aren't going to be too intense. So do they lay down? Do they hide under the trees? Do they just bunch up together? That'd be interesting to know. Something that I'll have to ask animal care about because I don't know that. Frizzy was just here drinking out of her trough. So we've had people ask us before, well, why don't you put the water up in the trees? Why don't you hang it up? And it's like, well, because where is a giraffe going to find water in the air in the wild? They won't. So at Fossil Rim, we have several tanks, or as some of you up north might know them as ponds. Um, but we also have these troughs throughout the park. We have a couple here in this particular pasture, but then also have those tanks or ponds in this pasture as well. So a couple of them are runoff ponds that will dry up fairly easily, but there's one at the base of Cheetah Hill that most people are familiar with that stays pretty full even into drought. There's been a few times I've seen it dry up, but uh, it's not very common. All right, guys. Well, I think we'll call that a live for today. And yeah, so come hang out with us next week. I don't remember exactly what we're hanging out with next week. I want to say maybe Rhino.
It's been a minute since we've done Rhino.
It has been a minute since we've done Rhino. So we'll go hang out with Turbo and the gang. And yeah, and then come back with us the week after that. We'll be back here at the Giraffe Herd. So thanks so much for joining us this morning. And Betty Jane and Frizzy and Yola and Nettie and our crew here and Ashley and I appreciate it. It does it makes these lives a whole lot better when y'all communicate with us and interact. So
Absolutely.
yeah, y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. See you later.